There's nothing behind. Yeah.
We're going to create the user roles. Now this could be in the user permit. Admin is module.exports and set that equal to ready to go ahead .json file. And you might find that once it has been written by the read and write file process that we use in Node, we're using this user JSON file. It might all be in one line, but I believe if we go ahead and just put a return and edit and then save in Visual Studio Code, it should go ahead and format that file for you, so it's a little easier to read. Now this is what we had after the last tutorial. We have a username Walt1 and a username Walt2. They all have their own passwords, and of course we're tracking the refresh tokens. I'm going to copy in the file I've created. It adds one more user, and so you can copy this file out of the completed source code that I'm going to link to. There's a starter source code link and then a completed source code link. Or you can go ahead and use the register route, create your own new user, and you can see I've added Dave1 as well as our Walt1 and Walt2. Dave1 just has the role of user, while Walt2 has the roles of user and editor. It's not an editor, but also an editor and admin. So you can see we're going to support multiple roles. I'll go ahead and save this file. Once again, you can copy it from the completed source code or just create your own third user if you want to. And we'll just edit these manually. Now there could be a admin area for whatever service you were creating, and that is where these additional roles could be created. But what we will do is just ensure when everyone registers, they're given the user role, and then of course later on you'd think an admin that was in charge could add the additional roles if those roles were to be granted to other users. So now we can collapse the model folder and the config folder, but let's look inside the controller folder and let's look at that register controller that we have. What we want to do is add that role of user with the 2001 code when any user registers. You can see we're creating our new user right here on line 19, and we have the username and the hashed password. So let's just go ahead and add this extra role. I'll break this out on separate lines, and that way we can see the new part that we add. And what we want to do is just in between username and password, add roles. Let's keep that lowercase. And after that, let's put this in an object. So then we have user, and then we have the code 2001, and then remember to put a comma after roles so it goes before the password, and save. Now let's go to the auth controller, and when we authorize and create the access token, we will want to send this information in the access token. So we're going to change our payload for the JWTs. Now first, when we know we have a match and we have verified our user, so everything is good, we want to go ahead and grab the roles that we put in our user's JSON file. So let's go ahead and define roles and set this equal to object.values. And then we can pass in the found user that we have above, and we want found user dot roles. And so now we'll get those values inside of roles. And now let's change our access token payload just a little bit. Since we're not just going to send a user name, let's create a new namespace here with user info, and then this will be an object. And inside this object, we'll have username. Let me go ahead and add the closing curly brace for the object here. So we'll have the username, but then, oh, we don't need that closing curly brace. But then we also want to add some more information here inside of the user info object. And the next one will be roles with quote, and we'll just pass the roles that we've created. It looks like I actually did need that extra curly brace, or at least we need an indent here, and then we're going to need to close out our payload. That looks correct, I believe. And if you want to break this onto another line, you can do that as well. We'll go ahead and save, and there we go, it gets formatted a little bit better already. So we're using this user info as a different namespace, and that's good because this is considered to be a private JWT claim, because there are some reserved abbreviations and words for public JWT claims, and you can find out more about that at jwt.io, I believe. I'll confirm that and leave a link in the description below so you can check out more information on the JWT claims if you're interested. Now, there is no reason to send the roles in the refresh token, and ideally the access token will only be stored in memory on the front end, but we don't have control over that. So when we do send the roles, we're just sending the codes and not actually the word admin or editor or anything like that. So we just are kind of hiding what each one is by using codes. But at the same time, ideally that access token will only be stored in memory anyway. But there is no need whatsoever to send the roles in the refresh token. The refresh token is only there to verify that you can get a new access token. Okay, now speaking of the refresh token, we need to go to the refresh token controller and add some of the same code, because that refresh token does issue a new access token. So right underneath where we have verified,
welcome to Romeet.
Decoded the refresh token here. log from the last tutorial. Let's go ahead and take that out.